Hey, it's Kyle here, and today I will be reviewing Star Wars Master of Evil by Adam Christopher. This book has a very interesting concept, and it's basically examining how individuals within the Empire in the early days react to this mysterious figure who suddenly shows up, Darth Vader, and trying to figure out who he is, how he fits in the imperial hierarchy, what's going on. Is he a loyal ally to the Emperor, or is he trying to usurp the Emperor? What's going on with this mysterious figure in black? I think a very cool concept. When we're first introduced to Darth Vader in the movies, he's already obviously clearly established a reputation for himself. People in the imperial hierarchy know who he is, know that he has power, know that he's close to the Emperor. It's clear where he kind of, falls in the chain of command and stuff like that. You've helped establish the Empire. You think this is going to be this glorious way to rule the galaxy. You've established a place for yourself in it. And suddenly this mysterious figure in black shows up that seems to have the Emperor's ear, has all sorts of weird powers. It seems like he might have used the Force, but you've just been told that the Jedi were evil, so how can somebody use the Force and not be a Jedi? Is this person actually secretly working against the Emperor? You can see how this would be a very confusing individual to encounter amongst the Imperial power base. So I like the concept of this book, of exploring how that happens. Now I'll say personally, I really enjoyed this book. I think some people have had a different reaction. I think in some ways, it's the fault of how the book was marketed. I think the book was set up, and even if you read the inside cover of it where it kind of tells what the plot is, it really makes you feel like you're getting a lot to the point of the view of the story from Darth Vader. And so you're kind of feeling like, how did Anakin react when he's made this transformation? Did he instantly become completely loyal to the Emperor? Is he, somewhat, still in shock from the loss of Padme? How much is he still thinking about Padme in his first few days as Darth Vader? Is he still obsessed with trying to bring her back, stop her from dying, even though it's already too late for that? What is going in Darth Vader / Anakin's mind? And we get little bits of that in this book, but Darth Vader / Anakin is really not the main character of this book, but the main character is Colonel Goff, the commander of the Royal Bodyguards. So those, guards in those cool red suits that we all saw in the original movies. Is like, oh, who are those guys? Well, Colonel Goff, at least in the early days of the Empire, is the person who's in charge of that guard. And basically, he is trying to establish himself amongst the Imperial hierarchy. Even though he's become the commander of the guard, he thinks there's ways he can better serve the Empire if he continues to gain more power and authority. And he seems like he's really a true believer in the Empire, and he really wants as much power as possible so he can better serve the Empire. It's not like he's, obsessed with becoming the Emperor himself or something like that. I think he really believes in the mission of the Empire and the Emperor, and he just believes he's a talented individual who, the more power he gains, the better he can serve the Empire. But he is faced with a dilemma. He has a serious health condition that basically seems like it's going to kill him. And he's kind of keeping it secret, because if people knew about this health condition, he couldn't remain in his position. So he's kind of obsessed with two things: trying to move up the imperial hierarchy, but at the same time trying to find a way to either save his life or figure out a way that he can live with this condition. So he's constantly trying to prove himself. I think both his loyalty, but also prove to himself, I can still do this job even though this disease I have could be killing me. So early on in the book, he is given a mission by individuals within the Empire who's kind of suspicious of Darth Vader, that the Emperor has told them that he's also suspicious of Darth Vader's loyalties, and Colonel Goff is supposed to basically become like aide to Darth Vader and follow him around on a couple of missions and really see like, hey, is Darth Vader loyal to the Emperor, or is he up to no good and trying to overthrow the Emperor? And that's really kind of the plot of the book. I'm not really getting into the specifics of it. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But the bulk of the book, I would say 2/3 or maybe 3/4 of the book is told through Colonel Goff's point of view. Now, I really enjoyed it. Colonel Goff is a very interesting character. I really enjoyed seeing how he reacts to the Empire as the book goes along, when he starts to question certain things that he's been told, as he makes connections with people who have been harmed by the Emperor. He begins to question, is the Emperor and the Empire all good, or is it bad, or is it a mixture middle? What's going on here? Is it individuals causing bad things, or is the Emperor actually up to no good? Who is this Darth Vader person? And as he's around Darth Vader more and he sees more and more of his power, he goes like, this guy, with these weird force powers, maybe he can help save my life. I don't know. Maybe he should be in charge, not the Emperor. The Goff character is very, very interesting. I enjoy him a lot. But I could see if you go into this book expecting like this is going to be a very Darth Vader focused book and you're going to get a lot of stuff from his point of view. If you read that, this is not going to really satisfy what you were looking for. So I don't want to say I think if they marketed this book differently, I think a lot of people that are having negative reactions to it would probably enjoy the book a lot, because I think we're still learning more about the early days of Darth Vader than we ever had through this book. But if you're going and expecting this is a point of view book from Anakin's point of view right after he becomes Darth Vader, that's not really what this book is. So maybe a failure of marketing, not a failure in the author writing poorly or a non-interesting story or creating non-interesting characters. I think this is a very interesting story. He's created a lot of cool characters, cool settings, cool plot points, and I really enjoyed how the story unfolded. It made for a very entertaining read. But I can see how some people might not enjoy it. So that is my review of Master of Evil. I would definitely say if you're interested in the early days of the Empire, I would highly encourage you to check it out. Just temper your inspections about how much of the story is actually coming from Anakin's point of view. So let me in the comment section below know if you read Master of Evil, how did you enjoy it? Were you disappointed, or do you enjoy it like I did? If you enjoyed this review, I hope you'll hit the like button. If you have yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you the next time, and may the Force be with you.